YouTubers, what we are going to do today is we are going to use these glass cutting boards from the Dollar Tree and some adhesive vinyl, and we'll sublimate on the back of them, and the design comes through so you can see on the front of the cutting board. It's actually really not that hard and kind of cool. So I'm going to show you what you need. All right, so what we are using, these are from the Dollar Tree. They're glass cutting boards. They're, I think, about 7.5 inches wide. They're kind of little, so what I thought they would be really cool for is trivets for like hot stuff, especially with the holidays coming up. When you make all of the big fancy dishes, they're about the right size for a trivet, so that's what I've kind of thought they would be used for. I got lucky. My Dollar Tree just had them. They are back ordered currently online, but you can order them online. So there's a circle and there is a square. And then you will need vinyl for this. You can use either, this is some matte permanent, this is some transparent, or this is some shiny white. Any one of these will work. The hardest part of all of this is getting the air bubbles out. So whichever one's your favorite, any of these will work. And then obviously your design. So we're using a printed, just transfer. This design will be free on my webpage, so you can make a little trivet if you wanted to. And then I'm using, this is the Cricut 9x9 Easy Press. I really like it for sublimating, I call it fat skin, or fat flat things, because you can't really get them closed in clamshell presses, and so this works really well with it. Heat tape, and then I highly recommend something to grab the cutting board with when you first have to touch it. It is hot because we do this for a while with it, and it is hot. I'm not kidding. So definitely you're going to want, I've just used, this is an old washcloth, but washcloth, gloves, something, because you're not going to want to grab this by any means with your hands. Also, these little guys would be hand wash only. That's why I think they'd make a really good trivet rather than a cutting board. Because this is just regular adhesive vinyl, they will come off if you put it in the dishwasher. It might make it once or twice, but eventually it will come off. So, hand wash only, hand wash or wipe, no dishwasher. Alright, so I wanted to show you my testers real quick and a couple little things I discovered with different designs. So this is the same design. This one is on transparent, and then this one is on white. The transparent is kind of cool, but do understand it gives like a distressed kind of look. And then it's kind of like based on where the paper kind of pulls off. Sometimes you'll be able to see more of the design and sometimes you won't. And any of the white, if the paper like stays on, you'll be able to see more of it, or you won't if it the paper pulls off. So it's kind of a cool watercolor, but it's definitely a distressed look, and you kind of don't really know what you're going to get when you pull off the paper. The white, I think, is much more consistent because, and if anywhere, because even, it doesn't really matter. The paper pulls off fairly well, and your design shows through pretty well. I do think this one came out a little bit muddled because it was not as high contrasting of a design. I think when you have like a bright, colorful design with a lot of contrast, I think that's probably your best bet for these guys, because it is coming through this, and there is a pattern on top of this as well. So bright, high contrasting. This was like a watercolory one on transparent, and see, it didn't turn out very well. So, and yeah, and he's on transparent as well. So you can see where some of the white for the hat came through and some of it didn't, based on where this paper tore on the back. And then this is the same design on white. So based on the design and kind of what you're wanting to go for, you can kind of figure out which one you're going for. I would definitely recommend this white. It's a little bit more forgiving than the transparent if you're just starting out. Also, when I was doing these are obviously little. They're less than 3 inches. You don't have to sublimate them nearly as long as you do the big one. I found that out last night when I made the big ones to show y'all. The bigger the design and the bigger the piece of glass, the longer it's going to need to sublimate. These guys were done at 375 for about 200 seconds. The big boys are done at, or the full piece of glass is done at about 400 degrees for at least 200 seconds, if not longer, depending on what it feels like. And also, I wanted to show you, there are some boo-boos on mine, but I wanted to show you, you can see it on both of them. If it's cloudy or not coming through, it's because it's not gotten hot enough. And I would bet either the heat press or the little easy press, or just the size of this versus the easy press. Anyway, my corners aren't getting as hot as they need to, and that's why you're getting this, and that's why I got it on the rock and roll too. You can see the corners. That's why, and if you get that on your design, that's why they're not getting hot enough. So, but anyway, boring stuff. Let's get to work. All right. So the most annoying part of this is getting the little feet off. What I've been doing, because we're working on the back of the glass, what I've been using is this pokey stabby thing from Cricut. Probably really not what it was intended for. Also, do this away from you. I stabbed myself the other night doing this. Crafting is dangerous. But just peel off the feet and then keep them. I've just been sticking them right back on because they're still sticky after you pull them off. And then what I've been using is some Goo Gone. Some Goo Gone to get any of the residue off. And then I've also been going upstairs and scrubbing it really well after I do that with hot water, just to make sure all the Goo Gone is off, because I don't want to put adhesive on top of something that is designed to get it off if it's still on there. So I scrub it really well, hot water, soapy water, just to make sure it's really, really clean. Also, if you screw up, you can peel it off and try again. And scrub it again, hot water, soapy water, scrub it, and it will be just fine. Alright, so I went upstairs, our feet are off, and I scrubbed it really well. Hot water, so it's all clean. This is just a piece of adhesive vinyl. This is matte white. It's matte permanent. And I just cut it. Now, I'll freely admit, and y'all can totally yell at me in the comments, I don't know the best way to get this vinyl on here air bubble free. I know you can use the squirt bottle method, but if you do that and don't get all the water out, it kind of like hisses at you, which is a bit creepy. So I just kind of sunk it on here and hope for the best. Alright, so that is my not perfect piece of vinyl. So anywhere that's got these lighter white areas, I don't know if y'all can even see that, it's going to be different. You're going to be able to see it on your design. I just come to terms with that and think it's okay. On my bear, like you can see it right here. See, that was where there was some kind of air bubbly kind of thing on the back. So, up to you how much you want to sit there and scrub and figure it out. But, so what I do then is cut off, here's a little Dollar Tree X-Acto knife, and then just cut off any of the extra vinyl. If you don't, it will like adhere itself to the glass. And this is a self-healing cutting mat. Alright, so I did want to show you a couple things with the design real quick. My square is 8 inches exactly. I want it to be a little bit bigger than our cutting board. And then my design inside is roughly 7-ish is what I've been going with. So roughly you have about 1/2 inch of play on either side of your little hot plate we're going to make. Alright, and then I print to the print manager. Ceramic glass seemed like the best idea. High speed, tray, blah, blah. The big thing is not to mirror it, because our little cutting board is going to be flipped. Therefore, our design does not need to be flipped. So, no flipping of the design. That's the big thing. And then just print it. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take and tape our transfer onto so what we're going to do is, this is our transfer, and this is the top of our adhesive vinyl, and we are going to tape it down. As always, I'm a fan of more tape But tape as much or as little as you want to. Alright, so I'm over on my heat press because the Cricut Easy Press needs a hard silicone mat to work, and the heat press has one rather than buying another thing to keep up with. And then this is Butch Paper. I would recommend it because we have an outline here and it'll eventually pick up on our paper. So we're going to flip it over. So this is our paper. And then I've done this a couple times with these. So what I'm going to do is 400 degrees for 200 seconds. If you were just doing this for the first time, I would do 400 for 100 seconds and then check it by pulling it up and seeing if the design's all the way transferred. If it's cloudy, you have not heated it and you need to do longer. But rather than interrupt it, we're just going to do 200 seconds. If you're doing the transparent, check it after 100 seconds because the transparent, for whatever reason, seems to transfer quicker than the white does. I don't know. And if you're doing a smaller design, I would try 375 for 100 first. If you're doing a bigger design, I would definitely do 400 for 200 seconds. Or, as always, play with it and see how it goes for you. As always with sublimation, it's a little trial and error, and always have extra blanks and supplies on hand. Also, when you first put it on, sometimes it'll make some weird little noises. Just know that's okay and normal. Alright, occasionally I do like to put some pressure on it just to help. Technically you don't really need it, but it kind of makes me feel better about life. So when this beeper goes off, we're going to flip this guy over and see what it looks like. Looks good, we'll be done. If it doesn't, we will put the heat press back on it and give it some more time. So see, we still got the corners issues. So why don't we put it back on here for another like 100 seconds and see if maybe we can get some of those to look a little bit better. All right, so we did it for another 100 seconds. I'm gonna flip it and see what it looks like. Well, my corners still aren't as perfect as I would like them. That's probably just the best we're gonna get. They're not getting enough heat. I just probably would do better. I have a 9x9 easy press. If I had like the 12x10, this would be a lot better. But it is what it is. So what I like to do, it needs to cool down for a minute. I like to kind of swing it. I don't know if that really helps. But it needs to cool down for a minute because if you peel it right now, you'll just peel off the vinyl. So it does need to cool for a minute, but not too long because then your paper will stick. So I let it cool down for a little bit and then try to peel it. This is a leftover ceramic tile from my bathroom upstairs. So I do like to put it on it. It would be nice if you had somewhere heat resistant or heat proof that you could put this on because it is hot and it stays hot for a while. So what I like to do is then flip it over and then peel. And if at any time you see your vinyl bubbling, either peel from a different direction because it's going to cool from the outside in. So either peel from a different direction or just give it a minute. And see there, my thing wants to peel, so we're going to give it a little bit more time over there. So there it is, and I just stick the feet back on here. Not perfect, but still kind of cool. I think it kind of adds to the design, like it's kind of burnt maybe, or wishful thinking for me. If you want to do these more perfectly, I would look at getting either one of the bigger easy presses, because what's happening here is there's not enough heat. Either one of the bigger easy presses or one of the fancier heat presses that lets you control the pressure so that it won't crack glass when you try to close it. Your other option is to cheat. I didn't know I did it in this one, but if you put your design smaller and leave the outside white, it won't do that either. So, little tip. Little tip we all learned together today. So, but the technique works the same. Just some things to improve it. But it's kind of sublimation. Sublimation seems to be a little trial and error for anything other than flipping it and slapping it on a shirt. So, if you have any comments, let me know down in the comment section, and I will be back with another video soon. Thank you so much for watching.